when you have a disagreement with somebody, when you have a problem with somebody in our religion, it's a very fundamental teaching. What should you do? Should you publicly humiliate them and tell them, here's my disagreement with you and here's why you are wrong? You go to them privately and you don't speak to them to correct them. You speak to them out of concern for them, because they are your brother in faith or your sister in faith. So you speak with them privately, you point out what you think may be an issue. What people before us used to do when they had strong disagreements, they would make dua for the person they're disagreeing with before they would state their disagreement. Then they would state their disagreement, and they would genuinely make dua for them after their disagreement, and they would not publish their disagreement online. So by the way, I even made dua for him. When you have to make dua for someone publicly, that's not making dua for anybody. That's telling everybody else, man, you are so messed up, I hope Allah fixes you. You look like, other than divine intervention, you're a lost cause. That's not how you correct someone. And you know what tafarruq does? Oh, I know this group, I know what they're about. Really, you know every single member of this group. And you know that all of them think exactly the same way. And your criticism of one of them is the same as the criticism of all of them. Tell me, are people always thinking the same way, or each individual is different? Aren't they different? But you know what tafarruq does? It lets you make sweeping judgments about an entire group with one statement, I know what they're about. People call these groups and these names, and a lot of times the people you're calling that name, they don't even identify with that name. They're like, you made me a member of this club, I never even heard of it. You signed me up for it on your own? Allah says, بَغْيًا بَيْنَهُمْ. And Allah considers this a crime, because we are here to serve the word of Allah. We are not here to serve loyalty to our group. And so He says, وَلَوْلَا كَلِمَةٌ سَبَقَتْ مِنْ رَبِّكَ إِلَىٰ أَجَلٍ مُسَمَّى لَقُضِيَ بَيْنَهُمْ. Had Allah not declared that there's a time where these people will be punished for what they do, their decision would have been made immediately, meaning they would have been executed and they would have been taken to hellfire immediately. But Allah says, no, I'm going to let them get away with it for a while. That's in the akhirah. In this life, something terrifying happens. وَإِنَّ الَّذِينَ أُورِثُوا الْكِتَابَ مِنْ بَعْدِهِمْ لَفِي شَكٍّ مِّنْهُ مُرِيبٍ. This is why this was about our generation and the next generation. Allah says, when the first generation, the earlier generation, is obsessed with these kinds of disagreements, they're obsessed with these kinds of arguments, this is what they do. Then you know what happens in the next generation? They come up and they say, man, my elders and these elders in the masjid, these guys that give talks, all they do is hate each other. All they do is fight each other. All they do is talk about this one's going to hell, this one's going to hell, this one's going to hell. I don't even know which one's right anymore. What should I do? Who should I follow? Because this one says this one's wrong, this one says this one's wrong. So you know what? This religion thing is way too confusing. I don't think I want anything to do with it. Because even the people who learn it can't agree. I don't even know much, so I don't think this Islam thing is for me. You guys can do your fighting. I'm not into it. I'm backing away. The next generation comes along and actually distances itself from the religion and thinks, if the religion was such a uniting force, if this was a truth that everybody can come under its shade, then how come the people that are more knowledgeable are the ones that fight the most? How come they're the ones that disagree the most? How come they're the ones who create the most divisions? If that's the case, there must be something wrong with the religion. And so the ayah says that those who inherited the book after them are in doubt about it. The next generation starts doubting the deen itself. That's the punishment of Allah for the people who create these kinds of factions and disagreements. And then if the word shak was enough, لَفِي شَكٍّ مِّنْهُ انتهى الكلام. They're in doubt about it. But Allah says, لَفِي شَكٍّ مِّنْهُ مُرِيبٍ. And murib is muta'addi, which means not only is the next generation confused and doubtful, they start sharing their doubts. They start posting about their doubts. They start posting about their skepticism. Why I don't pray. Why I don't follow Islam. Why I'm no longer Muslim. They start saying these kinds of things. Their doubt spreads to others. Murib actually means a doubt that makes other people fall into doubt. So you've created a problem that's going to multiply now. لَفِي شَكٍّ مِّنْهُ مُرِيبٍ. Subhanallah. What a terrifying conclusion for becoming obsessed with disagreements.